What's going on, everyone? Chris from Pickdawgz.com here with your free pick in the Cincinnati Bengals versus Minnesota Vikings NFL matchup going down Saturday, December 16th, 2023. Just a reminder, if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to our channel and smash that thumbs up. And if you're looking for my best bets, the games I love the most, including my daily $19 best bet, make sure that you head on over to Pickdawgz.com, click the Premium Picks tab at the top of the page. But let's get to this one between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Minnesota Vikings. An interesting matchup here going down, as you've got the Cincinnati Bengals coming in at 7-6 on the year, 6-6-1 against the number this season after a 34-14 win over the Indianapolis Colts in their last matchup. Meanwhile, Minnesota also 7-6 on the year, 7-4-2 against the number this season after a 3-0 win on the road over the Las Vegas Raiders in one of the most poorest offensive showings I've seen from any team in recent memory. And you could argue that the Vikings should probably be on a 3-game losing streak coming into this game if the Las Vegas Raiders just weren't inept offensively in that game. But I mean, they did score 63 points on Thursday night, so take that for what it's worth. Now, I will say about the Minnesota Vikings that the defenses looked solid. I mean, even in the loss to Chicago, they still gave up only 12 points. They've given up 17 points or less in 5 of their last 8 games, so they are performing fairly well defensively. And you just look at the season-long numbers for the Minnesota defense. They're top 5 in rushing yards allowed per game, above league average in pass defense, top 10 in total defense. So this is a solid Minnesota unit. But the problem here is that, the Vikings have shifted away from Josh Dobbs. They've actually moved Josh Dobbs to third string below Jaren Hall on the depth chart. Now it looks to be Nick Mullins that's taken over the starting gig for the Vikings. And Mullins does have, some starting experience. You go back over the course of his career, he's seen time, as a starter with the San Francisco 49ers. Made 8 starts in 2018, 2019. Threw for 2,277 yards, 13 touchdowns, 10 picks. You had 8 starts in 2020, 2021. Went for over 2,400 yards, 12 touchdowns, 12 INTs as well. So he's had some decent options or decent performances. The thing for me here, though, is that the Cincinnati Bengals just, as weird as it sounds to say, just look like they haven't missed a beat since Jake Browning took over for Joe Burrow. Browning had the big game against the Jaguars, threw for 354 yards on 32 of 37 passing. Last time out against the Colts, he threw for 18 of 24, 275 yards and a pair of touchdowns there as well. So Cincinnati just looks like they're carrying on business as usual, and it's a Cincinnati team that is still at home where they've played their better football this season. Now, granted, the Minnesota Vikings are 5-2 on the road this season, so take that with a grain of salt. But for me, I can't get there with the Minnesota Vikings with Nick Mullins as your starting quarterback on the road in Cincinnati in a hostile environment in a game where both teams' playoff lives are hanging in the balance here. I mean, since Cincinnati on the outside looking in the AFC right now, in that log jam where a bunch of teams from 6 down to 11 all have a 7-6 record. Pittsburgh, Indy, Houston, Denver, Cincinnati, and Buffalo all at 7-6, and even the Raiders at 6-8 after their win in primetime on Thursday. The Minnesota Vikings are at least in a better spot right now. They're in a playoff position, a game up on teams 7 through 11. I'm not saying that's any sort of excuse for them to take one off here, but I just feel that this game probably means a little bit more to the Cincinnati Bengals. So I'm going to take Cincinnati here. Like I said, I like what I've seen from Jake Browning. I like what I've seen from the Bengals so far. So give me the Bengals laying the points, so that's going to be my free pick. But just a reminder, if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to our channel and smash that thumbs up. And if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pickdawgz Premium. While you're at Pickdawgz, check out our betting tools. They're 100% free. They're the best betting tools in the business and tools that you want to make sure that you have in your back pocket when you're making your best bets for the day's action. And while you're at our YouTube channel, make sure you have notifications turned on so you can be the first to be in the know when the newest content drops here at Pickdawgz. Thanks for watching. See you guys soon.